Hey guys, Caroline here. Welcome to my brand new series, Value Betting Beat the Bookies. This particular video is just going to be an introduction to the series. I'm going to basically tell you what it's about and give you an idea of what you can expect over the coming weeks, possibly months. It should be a fairly long one. And this will sort of be running whilst the sports is still kind of slowly resuming. So what is this all about then? Well, the first thing I'll be doing is explaining what value betting is. Now, in a nutshell, I'm going to put this in one line. I define value betting as being betting on sports in order to make a profit. Very simple, except it isn't simple at all. So there'll be a fair bit of detail on that, and of course I'm going to be explaining how you actually make a profit from this, because people always say, you can't make money with sports, gamblers always lose and so forth. I'll be talking about who this is suitable for, the kind of mindset you're going to need. Now, so far on this particular channel, I've only talked about matched betting. I started this channel in the summer of 2018 when I first discovered match betting for myself, and that was the only thing the channel covered for all the time, basically up until last week. I decided to rebrand and bring in some other topics. So I brought in the trading channel, which is something that I had separately, and now I'm branching out to talk about other types of stuff. So not everybody who's been watching my previous videos is going to like this series. So I'll be explaining why that is. There are going to be people that do match betting that jump into this, and there'll be other people who are interested in doing this but have no interest in match betting. So you'll be able to find out whether or not it's for you. Now, this is going to be a fairly long series. There's quite a lot to cover here. I don't know how long, because I don't really know when I'm going to have time to post the videos. I'll try and do sort of around a couple a week, but I'm not going to stick to any hard and fast schedules, so to speak. So the first thing that I'm going to be covering is theory and background, and this is going to be a few videos. Now, this is the kind of thing that people love to skip, and it's also the kind of thing that's really important. When I first started with value betting myself, which was over a year ago, I did it horrifically badly. I lost a lot of money. Well, I say I lost a lot. I lost about £1,000 in the first few months, and after that I thought, I'm done with this, but I eventually started again, and I really researched and learnt a lot more, and now it's something that I can make a profit with. So these are the kind of topics that I'll be talking about. So the bookies always win. That's something you've probably heard. It's not entirely true. They nearly always win, and you want to be one of those few percent that can actually make a profit from betting on sports. I'll be talking about those loyal punters that are always making the bookies rich. In order to do value betting, you cannot behave like an ordinary punter. This is going to fly in the face of what people often do. So, for example, the next subject there is the fallacy of picking winners. People think that betting is about figuring out who's going to win. Is this football team going to win? Is this tennis player going to win? And which horse is going to win? It's not about that at all. It's about value, which is why it's called value betting. And it's a term called expected value, which is short for EV. And I'll be doing a video saying why that is so important. It is the crux of this whole thing. And I'll be talking about things like variance. Oh, I've got a typo there. Variance, luck, and your risk profile. And again, this stuff is super important. If you don't understand these things, you'll probably get frustrated and lose money. So on to the next. Oh. So the next set of videos I do after that is going to be more of the practical stuff. How do you find value? So we're all saying value, but how do you find them? So there'll be several videos on that. And there's two main ways of doing it. One is that you develop strategies yourself. So you come up with your own betting strategies for finding value amongst everything that's out there. Or the second method is following other people that have done that work already. So generally speaking, we're talking about tipsters here. So if you have got someone else who is an absolute expert on a particular sport, or perhaps a niche within a sport, and they have the ability to make profitable selections time after time after time, very often they will release those selections as tips. Sometimes they're paid for, sometimes they're free. But this is risky stuff. You don't want to just blindly follow other people, because if you don't do the next part, which is gathering the data, analyzing it, and doing a lot of fairly in-depth research, you're going to end up throwing your money away and losing it. So this stuff, again, it's pretty important to know what you're doing. And then lastly, there's a lot of practical things to consider. So for example, dealing with bookmaker restrictions. As a matched bettor, this is something you will probably be very, very familiar with already. I went into a value betting when I'd already been gubbed from several bookmakers, and that made things hard. But it is a very, very real thing. If you become... But the bookmakers, the way I see it, bookmakers are scum of the earth. If you repeatedly take their offers, they restrict you, and if you repeatedly win money, they restrict you. So this is something you really have to deal with, and it's important stuff, and it's something that I've had to deal with a lot myself. I'll be talking about managing your money, which again, very important. If you do this wrong, you can be winning, you can be on a very profitable path, but still end up losing your money and going bankrupt. So there's some important stuff in there. And I'll be talking about how you track your progress, how you grow your profits over time, how you reinvest, and so forth. And adjusting and tweaking. Unfortunately, it is not something that you can just do once, learn it, do it, and then you're set for life. You have to keep adjusting over time, because things change. I mean, for example, right now, as I shoot this video, it's the middle of May, and we are in the midst of the coronavirus. At the moment, most sports in the UK are suspended, and there's this progress of things coming back slowly, but everything is changing. For example, when football starts to come back, it's behind closed doors, which means they don't have all the fans. So how does that affect something like the home team advantage? These kind of considerations are really important when it comes to placing bets. And so for me personally, I'm using this time, this coronavirus, to kind of start afresh with value betting. The kind of strategies I was using 3-4 months ago, I'm going to be re-evaluating as those sports comes back, because this was definitely going to have changed things. So it's something you have to keep working on. So finally here, what I'm going to be teaching you on this course is how to find your own bets. I'm not going to be showing you mine. So I just want to make that clear from the outset. I'm not going to be providing a tipping service. I'm not going to be giving you something to copy. I'm not going to be telling you how I find my profits, how I come up with my strategies. I'm not going to be telling you what my profits are. Nothing of that kind. This is me teaching you how to replicate what a successful value bettor does, but it's not something you can just copy. So it's not easy. It takes work. And if you're looking for something you can just copy step by step, okay, well, this week I just do this, and this, don't watch this series. It'll be a waste of your time, and you'll find it frustrating, and you'll probably lose money. So only watch this series if you're prepared to do some work to actually figure things out. This is not like match betting. Match betting is easy money. Value betting is not. Okay, so I hope that's given you a good introduction to what's to come. The first video in this series is going to be posted sometime within the next few days. Okay, thank you very much for watching, guys.